So first, let's talk about the scale of this problem. Because this isn't just one kid in Florida. This is something much bigger, happening all across the United States. In 2026, the average cost of car insurance for a teen driver is between $3,500 and $6,000 per year. That's not a typo. That's per year, which means roughly $300 to $500 every single month. Just for insurance. Before gas, before maintenance, before the car payment itself. Now compare that to an adult driver. A 35-year-old with a clean record is paying around $150 to $200 a month. Sometimes even less. So on the exact same car, a teen driver can pay 2, 3, sometimes even 4 times more than an adult. And the gap doesn't stop there. It gets even bigger depending on the vehicle they choose. Some cars are considered low risk. Others are flagged as expensive the moment a young driver gets behind the wheel. And surprisingly, one of the names that keeps showing up in that expensive category is Honda. Now, here's where things start to get interesting. Honda is known for being reliable, affordable, and perfect for first-time drivers, especially models like the Civic and Accord. So logically, you'd expect them to be cheap to insure, right? But insurance companies don't look at it that way. They look at risk. And statistically, Honda vehicles are extremely popular among young drivers, which also means they appear more often in claims, accidents, and repair reports involving inexperienced drivers. Add to that modern repair costs, advanced sensors, and high replacement prices for parts, and suddenly, the cheap starter car becomes more expensive to insure than people expect. So even though a Honda might be affordable to buy, the insurance tells a completely different story, especially if you're under 25. And that's where most drivers get shocked. Not at the dealership, but when they see the insurance quote. All right, so here's the question everyone asks. Why Honda? Why not Toyota? Why not Chevrolet? Why does the Honda Civic end up being one of the most expensive cars for teen drivers to insure? The answer comes down to 3 main factors, and insurance companies track all of them very closely. First, theft rates. Honda Civics and Accords consistently rank among the most stolen vehicles in the United States. Insurance companies don't ignore that. When a car is stolen more often, insurers pay more claims. And when claims go up, premiums go up. It's that simple. For teen drivers who are already considered high risk, that theft factor gets amplified even more. Second, repair costs. Modern Hondas aren't just basic cars anymore. They come packed with sensors, cameras, and advanced safety systems. So even a small accident can turn into a very expensive repair bill. A simple bumper hit can mean thousands of dollars in replacement parts and calibration. Insurers know this, and they price it in. Third, driver perception. Certain Honda models, especially the Civic C and Type R, are associated with sporty driving culture. Insurance companies use large data sets to evaluate risk, and cars linked to performance driving tend to get flagged as higher risk, whether that reflects the actual driver or not. And when you combine all 3 factors, you start to understand why a simple Honda can become... Now let's stack the second problem on top of the first. Because if Honda being expensive to insure is problem number 1, then being a teen driver is problem number 2. And when you combine them, that's where things get brutal. Insurance companies don't guess. They price based on risk. And statistically, teen drivers do have higher accident rates than adult drivers. That's just the data. Inexperience matters. Fewer hours behind the wheel matters, but here's where it starts to feel unfair. A 17-year-old with a perfect driving record, no accidents, no tickets, nothing, still gets placed in the same high-cost category as every other teen driver, even if they've never made a mistake on the road. Because insurers don't price you as an individual when you're a teenager. They price you as a group, and that group is expensive. It gets even worse when gender is factored in. In many cases, adding a male teen driver to a policy can increase premiums by $200 to $400 per month, almost instantly. Some parents have reported their insurance jumping by hundreds of dollars the moment their child became eligible to drive, even before they fully started driving. That's what people call the teen driver multiplier. And when you combine that multiplier with a car like a Honda, which already carries higher insurance costs, you end up with a system where even responsible young drivers get priced like high-risk cases. Okay, so let's stop talking in general terms and look at real numbers, Moa, because this is where it really hits home. Let's compare what a 17-year-old pays to insure different cars. Same driver, same record, same state. A 2022 Honda Civic costs roughly $4,200 to $5,500 per year for a teen driver. A 2022 Toyota Corolla comes in lower, around $3,100 to $4,000 per year. A 2022 Mazda 3 drops even further, around $2,800 to $3,600 per year. And a 2022 Subaru Impreza sits around $2,900 to $3,700 per year. That's not a small gap. We're talking about $1,000 to $1,500 per year difference just by switching from a Honda Civic to another similar compact car. Same age, same driving record, same coverage level, different vehicle. Now zoom out. That $1,200 difference is about $100 per month. For a teenager, that's not just insurance cost. That's gas money. That's savings. That's money toward a car payment or school expenses. So the real question isn't just, can my teen afford to drive? It's, can my teen afford to drive this specific car? And for a lot of families right now, especially those considering Hondas, the answer is slowly becoming no. Now, before we get into the solutions, and there are real solutions here, I promise, I want to pause on something most insurance videos completely ignore. The system feels rigged. I get it. And honestly, a lot of families feel trapped. They bought the Honda because it was reliable, because it held its value, because their teen loved it, and now they're stuck paying premium after premium that doesn't feel fair. But here's what most people don't realize. There are specific moves you can make that directly lower teen insurance costs. Not vague advice like drive safe. I mean real documented strategies that insurance companies actually respond to. And we're going to break them down right now. But first, if this video is giving you value, hit that subscribe button on CoverWise. Every week, we break down the real cost of car ownership, insurance, quotes, coverage, in plain English. No confusion, no jargon. Just what you actually need to know. All right, now let's talk about how to fight back. Okay, here's what actually works. 5 strategies, and I want you to remember these. Strategy 1, good student discount. Most major insurers, State Farm, Progressive, GEICO, Allstate, offer discounts for teens maintaining a B average or higher. That alone can reduce premiums by 8% to 25%. On a $5,000 yearly policy, that's up to $1,250 saved. Strategy 2. Stay on the parent's policy. In most cases, adding a teen to an existing family plan is significantly cheaper than getting a separate policy. Insurance companies factor in the household's driving history, which often reduces overall risk. Strategy 3. Telematics programs. Apps like Progressive Snapshot, State Farm Drive Safe and Save, and Allstate DriveWise track real driving behavior, speed, braking, and time of driving. Safe Habits can unlock 10% to 30% discounts, especially for disciplined teen drivers. Strategy 4. Increase the deductible. A higher deductible usually means a lower monthly premium. If the driver is responsible and the family can handle a higher out-of-pocket cost in case of an accident, this can be a smart financial trade-off. Strategy 5. Shop and compare regularly. Insurance rates change all the time. Getting multiple quotes every 6 months can save hundreds per year. And tools like CoverWise make that comparison much easier. So here's the bottom line. Millions of teens are being priced out of driving Hondas and even car ownership itself because of a mix of high-theft vehicle classifications, rising repair costs, and the harsh reality of teen driver risk pricing. It's not fair, but it is beatable if you know the right moves. Use the good student discount, stay on the family policy, take advantage of telematics if the driving is safe, raise the deductible strategically, and most importantly, if you're buying a car for a teen, check the insurance cost before you fall in love with the vehicle. Because a Toyota Corolla or a Mazda 3 can quietly save your family over $1,000 a year in insurance alone. The goal of CoverWise has always been simple: to give you the real information insurance companies don't make obvious, so you can make smarter decisions, pay less, and avoid overpaying for coverage you don't need. If this video helped you, share it with a parent or a teen driver in your life. Drop a comment below with your state and what your insurance quote looks like. I read every single one. And subscribe to CoverWise so you never miss a breakdown like this. See you in the next one. See you in the year.